welcome back. My name is Joseph Anderson, and this is RM University's 90-Day Jumpstart program. So welcome to day 18. Today we're going to talk about the importance of failure. And I want you to think about failure in your own life. What are some things that you failed at recently? And you might be thinking to yourself, what a bizarre question. Well, to be honest, if you're not failing, you're not trying. I mean, a life, as I once heard from somebody say, a life in which there is no failure is a life that's wasted because you didn't take yourself to the edge. You didn't take yourself to the limit. Now, granted, there's certain areas of life we probably want to avoid failing in, but for the most part, it's actually a really good thing. I mean, if you felt today that you could accomplish anything and you weren't afraid to fail, what would you try? What would you go after? What small and simple steps and actions would you take in your own life? Now, on the other hand, how have you allowed failure to influence your life? How have you allowed it to control you or to dictate the different things that you can do? What areas of your life have you not tried as hard because you're afraid of failing? We look to the Book of Mormon for an excellent example of failure. Nephi, if we look at his first attempt to get the brass plates, that was a failure. Oh, by the way, guess what? His second attempt, that would be considered a failure as well. It wasn't until the third and final time in which he really turned to Heavenly Father. And I think there's many spiritual principles there as well. But even just from the failure aspect of this, there's so much we can learn. Number one, what did Nephi do when he failed the first time around? Did he say, okay guys, this didn't work out the first time, we're just going to give up, we're going to go home? No, he didn't do that at all. He did the exact opposite. He said to Laman and Lemuel, as the Lord liveth, we are not leaving this spot until we have accomplished what the Lord has commanded us to do. And even the second time, they didn't get it. And like we said before, the third time they did. So he essentially, I've got this graphic on my wall that says take action, learn, innovate, and take a new action. If you followed that in your own life, of just not worrying about failing, not worrying about something not working out, whether that be in dating, whether that be in school, whether that be in work, it doesn't matter. I look at an example in sales. Most times that a sale is made, oftentimes it comes after the initial no. And they've dealt with the objection. I mean, you think about baseball, another great example of failure. But what if I told you that you could succeed only 30% of the entire time of your life and get paid millions and millions of dollars? That's what baseball is. Even somebody that's in the Hall of Fame oftentimes has a batting average roughly around 300, maybe a little bit over, and they make millions and millions of dollars. They fail 70% of the time, but they're highly rewarded for that 30% of the time that they succeed. So I really want you to look at your own life and see this example. One last example I want to share is with regards to weightlifting. In weightlifting, for example, if you're bench pressing, it's actually the last probably 2 or 3 reps of that where you get the most growth out of your muscles, because your body is exhausted and you've got to put so much more into those last few reps. Oftentimes in weightlifting, they encourage you to go to failure because they know that's where the growth is gained. And you look at your own life. Where are the times that you grow? When Heavenly Father throws you into the fire and says, you can do this. Or you think about when you were a child, your parent threw you in the deep end and said, hey, swim. They were right there. Nothing was going to happen to you, but they threw you in the deep end and they forced you to learn how to swim. So I want you to see how this affects you in your own life, and go ahead and do the assignment for today. Thanks so much for joining us for day 18, the importance of failure. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome day.